because his facial structure, the jaw, his facial, it's completely different.
Islam is a totalitarian, supremacist ideology that seeks world domination. It's not just a philosophical religious worldview, it's political. It's military. The ISIS group is a group of true Muslims that are doing what Muhammad told them to do. They've got the numbers, they've got the military power, they've got the influence. Now they're implementing the final stages of what's called jihad, the struggle in the way of Allah. So they're seeking to propagate the religion of Islam by the edge of the sword if they can't convert you through the propagation of the jihad of the mouth. Don't listen to the news when they interview moderate Muslims. There's no such thing. You have moderate hypocrites, moderate deceivers, but not moderate Muslims. Islam is not moderate. That is a deception from the pit of hell that is being propagated by the deceivers and the ignorant. And ignorant deceivers, who are probably the liberals. Liberalism is a mental disease, folks. It causes mental issues, blindness. My name is Louis. This ministry is just a small ministry that I do out here, Truth Defenders. And I'm basically here to speak to people on worldviews. Openly, publicly. It's not a scholarly debate or professional forum. It's an open forum where it's just sound bites. So I don't expect a thorough discussion on any one subject. So I'm just here to discuss worldviews and give people food for thought. It's an open mic, so the person that comes to the microphone can basically dictate the conversation. If they want to talk about Islam, evolution, atheism, Buddhism, it's up to them.
What's your concern about Islam?
My concern about Islam is primarily the teachings of jihad that propagate the advancement of the religion, if need be, by the edge of the sword. Such as Surah 9 or chapter 9 verse 5. It's called the Ayah of the Sword by Ibn Kathir. Surah 9 or 2:16. You have chapters in the Quran, about 114 different chapters that talk about the struggle in the way of Allah, that say that they have to kill the disbelievers and subdue them until there's no more disbelief in Islam in the land. So Islam is a religion that is propagated by the edge of the sword. That worries me. Islam has a doctrine that says that if somebody commits blasphemy, shirk, they ought to be killed. Saying that Jesus is the Son of God is one of those sins they consider shirk. So just by my very profession of faith that Jesus is the Son of God, a Muslim has a duty to ask me to repent of that or to kill me. That worries me.
Is your presence here a reaction to the Muslim outreach here on the promenade?
No, I've been out here for over 13 years. Before 9/11. I've been talking about the evils in Islam in the Quran long before 9/11. I have put the sign forward about Islam because the questions coming from the microphone. So I would rather talk about something else personally, but Islam is a very real threat that I think needs to be addressed. So in one sense, yes, but I've been talking about it alongside other world religions for 13, 14 years out here. So it's not the primary thing that I want to talk about, although the audience does want to talk about it.
In your expression of free speech, when Muslims come over here, do they try to limit your free speech?
Oftentimes they do, some don't, but in general, yes, they do. They'll call the police and tell the police to silence me, but the police know that I have a First Amendment right. We have a constitutional right to freedom of speech. Not just Muslims, sympathizers with Islam, liberals that don't like me offending people by the terminology I use or the references I give. But yeah, I have a constitutional right to speak my mind, dialogue with people in a public forum without hindrance from the law.
And what's the website if people want to learn more?
TruthDefenders.com.